In 1978, computer consultant Stanley Rifkin was hired to help Security Pacific National Bank create a backup wire transfer system for their busy Los Angeles branch. The existing system was used to transfer billions of dollars a day, and part of Stanley's job was to interview bank employees to understand how it worked. Security Pacific had a reputation for being impenetrable, and as Stanley learned about their security protocols, the wire transfer system seemed ironclad, at least at first. But during his months working with Security Pacific, he began to notice potential flaws in their procedures. As a security professional, Stanley should have alerted the bank to any security gaps, but instead, he found himself obsessing over how he might exploit those gaps to make a lot of money very quickly. By October, he devised a hypothetical plan to transfer millions of dollars out of the bank unnoticed. He was missing just one piece of critical information: the bank's highly confidential wire transfer code, which changed daily. Stanley knew it would be nearly impossible to acquire the code unnoticed, but the temptation was too great not to try. On Wednesday, October 25th, Stanley entered the bank and stepped into the elevator as he'd often done before. The wire transfer room was on level D, a private floor he wasn't normally allowed to visit. But when Stanley claimed he was there to do a study, the manager on duty recognized him and let him in to make observations. Scanning the room for clues to how he might discover the secret daily wire transfer code, Stanley almost laughed aloud. The code was posted for all to see, right on the wall. Memorizing the code, Stanley hurried out of the bank to a payphone, where, impersonating a bank employee, he used the code to transfer $10.2 million to an account he controlled. In just minutes, he'd pulled off the largest bank heist in U.S. history. And though he was arrested a few months later and convicted, the bulk of the money was never returned. Breathe in now and out. Keeping a clean workspace doesn't necessarily mean being tidy, but it does mean being mindful how the area around your workspace impacts cybersecurity. Never leave passwords or other confidential data out in the open, as the staff of Security Pacific National Bank did. By keeping sensitive information out of sight and secure, you'll thwart would-be thieves and hackers. For today, pick a regular time to review your workspace for sensitive information that needs to be secured. Then, write about your commitment to keeping a clean workspace. As Stanley Rifkin learned, unsecured information is easy to steal.